Hey everybody, welcome back to Peachy Disc Golf. Today, I am out here at Chattahoochee Point Park. Today we are going to try to stay as dry as possible as we test out the newest throwing putter from Mint Discs, which means of course we are talking about the Mint Discs Lasso, an overstable driving putter. So let's go see how this disc flies. So last year, I had the opportunity to try out quite a few different Mint discs, and I was quite impressed with a lot of them. I believe MVP is manufacturing all of Mint discs and using their plastics, which means the plastics feel amazing. And one disc that particularly impressed me a good bit was this Bullet, which is a control putter. The numbers were 2401. So it was a very straight point and shoot putter. I was basically able to put this just on a little bit of hyzer and it would pop up to flat and then just carry straight for the entirety of its flight. It wouldn't even have too much of a left finish or anything. But I really enjoyed throwing the Bullet around on short, like 200 to 215 foot holes. I had this in the bag for quite a little bit before I just recently switched it out for my Axiom Proxy. But then towards the second half of the year last year, Mint Discs released another putter. This time they released the Lasso, which the numbers are 3302. So a little bit more overstable than the Bullet here. So these are actually the same numbers as my Axiom Envy. So I imagine that this is going to fly decently similar. I will say though, hand feel wise, I don't have my Envy with me, but I can say that this Lasso does feel a good deal deeper than the Envy. The Envy almost feels more like a mid-range than a putter, which is why I really have been liking throwing it, but the Lasso does feel good in the hand. It reminds me a little bit of my PA3 as far as depth is concerned, but the Lasso is a beadless putter, but depth-wise, it feels very similar, so that means it is quite comfortable. Compared to the Bullet looks like they're actually very similar in height, and when I'm holding them both in my hands, like the Bullet has more of a rounded profile, where the Lasso almost feels like, not exactly like a zone or an overstable approach, but it has more of that tapered wing than the Bullet. So you can sort of see, maybe you can see that more tapered wing, whereas with the Bullet on the other hand, it's more of a rounded wing. Both feel great in the hand. So we're gonna play 6 holes here at Chattahoochee Point Park, and we're gonna compare both of these discs, and then I'll tell you what I think of the Lasso at the end. All right, we're gonna start off with a nice little chip shot here from the short tee. Hole 5 is only 155 feet, par 3. Basket's right there, just a nice little chip shot. The Bullet actually is probably a disc that I would strongly consider for this shot. Just sort of throw it with a little bit of anhyzer and just right at the basket, and it should just sort of stay on that line the whole way. The Lasso, I imagine, will have a little bit of fade, especially since we're not throwing it full power. So this will be a sort of little test. I'm probably gonna go just a little bit, just like a nice slow run up, but this will give a little like sort of touchy upshot style test. So let's try the Lasso. Oh, it's got a little fight to it. Yeah, that's like a little 5-foot putt. That was pretty nice. Let's try the Bullet. The Bullet is the disc I probably would consider more for this shot, but that Lasso went pretty well. Let's see, can we get this closer? That was a good throw. Both of those are parked. All right, tap-ins from both. The Bullet, maybe 5 feet closer though. Still only like a 10-foot putt here with the Lasso, so excellent shots from both. Just snuck that in there. Okay. Putting has not been great so far. I'm recording a couple of other videos, and I definitely haven't practiced putting in a while, so it feels a little bit, a little stiff, not like flowy and smooth by any means. Hole 6 short tee is a perfect shot for both of these putters here. It's only 195 feet, par 3, wide open, basket straight ahead. There is a little bit of a headwind, so actually I think the Lasso might fare a little bit better. This will be a good test. I'll actually be able to throw this full power, and we're gonna see how it stands up to the wind. We'll try the Bullet as well. I imagine that this will have a little bit more flip to it. So let's see how it goes. That's gonna be short, but that's a nice little flight there. Yeah, that's circle's edge, I think. That was very, very short, but it held up to the wind pretty nice. So that was the thing I really wanted to look at with this shot. So next up, we're going with the Bullet. Just look at how straight that putter is. That's just shy of pin high. I did throw it off a little bit to the left of the basket, but it just carried so straight. It's amazing. All right, so the lasso is well short. The bullet actually was a little bit shorter than I thought as well. I guess distance-wise, like to the pin, we're only like 10 feet off, but because it's off to the left, it's still a pretty lengthy putt here. So let's see, can we smooth out the putts a little bit? Short again. That's been my problem all day today. Everything's coming up short. All right, let's see, can the bullet take a lead? I wasn't planning on doing this as like a head-to-head battle or anything, but then I kind of wanted to change it right up on the spot here, so there it is. I forgot that this pin was in this position. I was really looking forward to testing this out in the left position. I think that would be a perfect shot for the lasso, but instead the basket's on the right side, 190 feet away, par 3. The bullet has the box, and this will be like the last shot that we have for a little while in this headwind going in this direction. I'm gonna just sort of go straight at it, try to keep it under the branches though. That's gonna be the toughest part. And then the lasso, I think I'm gonna be able to go with a hyzer on the right side and try to swing around the tree. So bullet first because it has the box, 1 under. Well, that is gonna sneak past, and that is, oh, just a little past the basket. I love the bullet so much. I don't bag it right now. I took it out for the Proxy, but that bullet might need to go back in. I might do like a bag battle between the Proxy and the bullet to see. I just love the way the Proxy feels, and it has a good flight, but it does have a touch more stability, I think, than the bullet, so we'll see. Going with the lasso now. Similar line, honestly, to what I just threw with the bullet, but this time I'm gonna intend to go that way. Ooh, swing past, it's past the tree. Oh, that was so close. Wow, both of these discs are amazing. They are great complements for each other. The bullet is just so neutral, just holds whatever line you put on it. And the lasso is not crazy overstable, but it is dependable enough. I think I put just a touch of anhyzer on that even, and that could have very easily stayed turned over to the right. But it fought back nice and easily. That's parked. Both of those discs are parked, I think. Okay, lasso is parked, and the bullet is also parked. These are great shots. Hole 9 from the short tee, 180 feet, par 3. The basket is straight ahead, just got 2 little trees to avoid here. The bullet still has the box with the 1-stroke advantage, so we're gonna start with the bullet, and we'll throw the lasso. These should be 2 birdies again. And let's see if we can get a couple little ace runs. We have a tailwind now, rather than a headwind, so. Oh, that's gonna be short. Short and left. I put that on hyzer. I was hoping it would flip up, but I threw it so soft. That's gonna be a tester putt, so if we can actually commit to a throw with the lasso here, could tie it right back up. That's parked. A little long. I didn't really give it a good ace run per se, but that disc, it got a really nice flight. It's a very dependably overstable disc. I mentioned having to do a bag battle between the bullet and the Proxy. I might need to do the same between the Envy and the lasso. The lasso feels great. It's coming out nice and clean. I wasn't sure because the Envy again is definitely a little bit shallower, but the lasso it's flying nice. All right, we got to tap in with the lasso 5 feet away. Bullet, we got maybe a 15-footer. So a tester with the way I've been putting today. Ooh, just snuck that in there. Just snuck that one in too. Hole 14 from the short tee, 220 feet, par 3. The basket is straight ahead, a little bit off to the left. 220 feet is going to be pushing it for me with putters, but I think I can make it there if I get a good release on both of these. So the bullet still has a 1-stroke lead right now. That looks great. Yep, 10 feet to the right. Oh, too low. That's great. It's a great flight. If I would have given that some height and a little more power, that would have been a park job. But either way, I think we're still getting birdies from both. Oh, just a little off to the right. Oh man, my putting is so bad today. A lot of times it's this. Can't make that up. Hole 16 from the short tee, 210 feet, par 3. Basket is straight ahead. We just have a narrow tunnel shot all the way down. Should shape up pretty well for the bullet, and we're gonna see how it goes for the lasso. I think for the lasso, I'm gonna have to actually put a good deal of power behind it and a little bit of anhyzer as well. That way it won't fight out super early and end up in the bowl on the left side of the fairway here. So that's a little short, but that was pretty good. Oh, not enough turn. Wow, that does have some stability. That was good distance. We're in the bowl. All right, so the bullet's here and the lasso is here. I definitely have a better putt look from the bullet, but this is still outside of the circle. We're likely getting 2 pars here, so. Yep, short. 2 pars. So the bullet did come out on top with a 1-stroke advantage, but let me give you my final thoughts on both of these putters. All right, well, the bullet had a 1-stroke advantage over the lasso, but I really wanted to give you my final thoughts on what I think about this lasso. And also, I'm gonna talk about the bullet as well, because I had so much fun throwing both of these putters. I will say I think the bullet might have won out in this battle, because I found myself oftentimes getting up to a tee and being like, this is a perfect hole for the bullet, and I'm gonna have to do something kind of weird in order to get the lasso to work. The lasso does have a good deal more stability than the bullet, and because of that, I think these 2 putters are perfect complements for each other. The plastic feels amazing, and both of these molds have great hand feels. They have similar depths, but this lasso has that more tapered rim where it's more of like a zone style disc, and the bullet just has a nice rounded putter. Sort of reminds me of a Luna a little bit, maybe a little bit more taper on the edge, but both of these discs feel so comfortable in my hands. And last year I did a video where I said the Proxy and the Envy were my favorite like 1-2 punch combo for throwing putters. I really need to redo that video, but put them head to head against both of these discs. And that way I could sort of do a like for like this is a perfect hole for the bullet and the Proxy, then throw the bullet versus the Proxy, and then a perfect hole for the Envy and the lasso, and sort of put both of these discs head to head against each other. I think this is another amazing 1-2 punch combo. You have your nice, straight, neutral throwing putter with the bullet, and something a little bit more overstable. I will say both the Proxy and the Envy, I think, fit just a little bit more comfortably in my hand. They're both just a little bit shallower, but both of these discs have amazing flights. That's going to be it for this episode though, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't, I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. If you enjoyed watching this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and ring that notification bell so you can be notified when our next episode comes out. Until next time, guys, cheers.